Alright, this is a review for Fritzafella's run for Task 1 in the 2022 SM64 Tascomp. It was a very nice run, got second place, so it's going to be probably a pretty short review because it was already pretty close to perfect. Alright, so let's just get right in there. So here we have Fritzafella's run. Starts out walking into a slide kick, as many people did. Just go down here. Here Fritz decided to go into this little gap and fall through. What you can also do is do a dive recover right at the last second after grabbing the coin to dive recover off the yellow platform. That actually sets you up for more lateral freedom, but that doesn't really matter too much in this case. Just as an example, here we have Fifth Dispenser's run right here, who actually does do the dive recover right here. And so that allows you to have higher speed much earlier. You don't have to be 0 speed while falling through the gap. In the end, it doesn't really matter. I've also seen people, so here we have Fritz's run. I've also seen people do a jump kick and double jump right here, which helps because you have a better falling acceleration, but of course you're spending more time on this first platform, so it just about evens out. If the jump kick double jump is possible with a decent angle, it seemed like it might be able to dive recover off of the elevator platform 1 frame earlier. So that could have saved the frame, maybe. Okay, but let's continue. We fall through the gap and dive recover. Very nice. Alright, so here we have an interesting point. You decide to land somewhere over here. The position doesn't really matter too much here. But here you perform a quick turn, which is usually pretty good. But in this situation there's actually a way to do a quicker turn, which actually saves 2 frames. So here we have a normal quick turn, which you did. So we have the free fall land stop action right here, and after the free fall land stop you neutral, small input, neutral, neutral, and then you're in idle. So there's basically 4 frames from free fall land stop to idle, which is where you want to be. Usually this is the best you can do, but if you have the time to bring your H speed very close to 0 before landing, you can save 2 frames. And this can be seen in Fifth Dispenser's run and also in my run. So let's look at my run for a second. Here we have my run. I actually have a much worse angle because I just used the inputs from like my very first low tad to make this run, but it didn't end up really mattering. Anyway, we fall through. Okay, and so here you can see I actually hit this box to immediately bring my H speed to 0. For me this was necessary because my angle was very crappy, but you probably didn't have to do that because your angle was better anyway. You had time to just slow down naturally. So anyway, if you have a free fall land stop and your H speed is small, I mean this H speed is is very small. It doesn't have to be quite this small. It can be within like a unit or so of 0, something like that. So remember, in your run or for a normal quick turn you would get neutral, small, neutral, neutral before you reach idle. But here we can immediately start walking with a small walk. So yeah, so it's an immediate small input, and as you can see, our H speed is still very low. And because it's so small, with just one extra frame of neutral, we immediately enter idle. So instead of neutral, small, neutral, neutral, it's just small, neutral. So that saves 2 frames. Okay, so let's go back to your run. Do a regular walk into a long jump, some annoying straining to get past these obstacles and avoid a ledge grab over here. You have a nice angle, that's fine. Here you have to try to at least get up to 48 speed, which you do with the 99 trick, which is very nice. And you need to hit the wall low enough where you can actually grab this coin. And you actually managed to get up to 48.45, which is actually 0.15 more than my speed. But I don't think that would really save anything. The only way that would save anything is if that allowed you to hold the jump from this wall kick like 1 frame less, and I don't think 0.15 is going to allow you to do that. Maybe if you had like way better straining and you got up to like 49 or something, maybe it would be possible to eliminate that frame. Okay, but here we have the wall kick, and we can count the A frames, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, yeah, A release, which is the exact same amount that I had, and that's almost certainly optimal for this starting speed. So that's all fine. Some light straining to get this coin and then get onto the cog at the very last moment. So here you're still only 2 frames behind, but then we have the different ending, which loses a little bit more time. So we have the dive recover into this wall, which immediately sets your H speed to 0. And here you found a very nice strat, a very nice vertical speed conservation right here, which is cool, except it doesn't quite help you in this case. So you stick to the wall for a couple frames. Actually, you can actually just let go of the wall just by having a more reversed angle, and that'll allow you to like land more over here instead of over here, and that gives you a better setup to clip under this ceiling with a higher speed. It allows you to go further back and then go in with a higher speed. So I'm thinking that the reason you chose the VSC strat over just falling down from the dive recover is that maybe with the dive recover you weren't actually able to get to the platform because you didn't have enough speed, and that might be because maybe you didn't realize that you could just go back here and have more distance for building up speed to get under the ceiling. Okay, anyway, so here we have the VSC, which is very nice. You have the minus 34 speed and you keep it on the next frame. You just keep accelerating, which is very nice. Yeah, so the nice thing about the VSC obviously is that you're still in a free fall state, so you can dive at any speed. But the downside is that there's no way to land here. So now you actually have to do the dive and then do the dive recover, which you did. Yeah, so you have to dive and you slow down, you make it to the platform, and you do a regular dive recover and you make it off of the ledge, which isn't bad movement. It's just kind of unfortunate that you end up doing 2 dive recovers instead of 1 dive recover and a slightly faster movement. Yeah, I had an idea of using this VSC and then building up so much speed that you could actually dive into the box and then bonk, fall back, and ideally not even hit this ledge and just immediately fall down. That would save like half a second or something ridiculous. But even if you bonk from a dive and then fall onto this ledge and then have to start falling again after a couple frames, it would still save a couple frames. But I don't think, well, it might not be possible. I couldn't get it to work. So since that doesn't work, the better ending is just to dive recover and get straight onto this ledge. As you can see in my run over here. Yeah, same jump, etc. Okay, yeah, so here it's the same dive recover, and you can see my speed drops to 0, but I immediately get away from the wall and slightly to the left, but mostly like away from the wall. And also I'm building up a lot of negative speed, so I'm far away and I have a lot of negative speed, so that gives me a lot of clearance to build up speed and get under that ceiling. So I can make it to the ledge even without a dive. Oh yeah, okay, so the wall of this cog is actually setting my speed to 0 in this run, so I guess the negative speed didn't really matter that much. Anyway, I build up a little bit of negative speed, and then I start accelerating, and just barely make it under there. Oh yeah, so this is my ending. There's actually a bunch of ways to end this that are slightly faster than what you did. Basically, if you can land here, you can do a couple things. The fastest thing to do, which I found, was to just slow down as much as possible. Right here, just slow down as much as possible. Just barely grab the coin, turn around on this frame, and then fall off. But other options are simply killing your speed over here with the free fall and stop, and then doing like a minimal single A press jump, which is pretty good. And another option is to side flip into this box and then fall down, which is I believe that was within 2 frames of this turnaround strat, so that's also pretty good. Yeah, so I think that's about it. So very nice run. Here we have your run. Very nice run. Yeah, most important factors. Knowing that there is a quicker quick turn is a very useful thing to know. And then, yeah, the ending movement choice could have been slightly better, although the VSC was very cool. So yeah, I think that concludes my review of this run. Very nice. Hope to see you in the next task.